Hello, I'm Mark Foden. I'm one of the owners of Foden Greeley. We're a change management consultancy and we help people, usually in UK central government, to make big changes to their organisations. We've made this video to explain a little bit about how we think about change management and why we do things the way we do. Actually, the video is in two parts and this is the first. We've called it The Flood, and you'll see why in a moment. It explains why we believe, particularly in complex and dynamic business environments, that a community-building approach to managing change is so important. Think of communication in an organisation as water flowing through pipes. Here we have a typical organisation. Some folks doing stuff, some folks managing them. And they're connected together with imaginary pipework. Let's say something happens that causes issues for those doing the work. Through the pipes, they discuss what's going on with their managers and others around them. After investigation, discussion, process design, coordination, or whatever, the problem gets fixed. When the situation becomes more complicated and things move faster, then more rapid communication and coordination needs to happen. But there's a problem. At any one time, the capacity of the pipework is pretty inelastic. It's limited by a combination of the number and nature of relationships that exist between people in the organisation, the competency of those people to communicate, the time they have available, and also the capabilities of their communication tools. So the pipes get fuller. And if it's not stretching the analogy too far, then perhaps you can imagine the pipes springing leaks. There are plenty of people wanting things to change and prepared to communicate about it, but there just isn't the capacity in the system for them to be properly heard. The leaking water represents an unfulfilled need for change. And the more change there is, the more leaks there will be. And if nothing is done, then everyone is in for a bit of a soaking. And what's worse here is that tinkering with the existing model, adding more pipes, more people, more processes, more training, will eventually, because of diminishing returns, stop working. So that's not very good then. But there is some happy news here. A different type of plumbing can fix this problem. And even more fantastic news, because it's mainly about changing behaviours rather than technology or even organisational structure. It doesn't have to cost a lot to do. When it comes to handling big change, we think it helps to think of organisations as big communities made up of many overlapping, interacting, fluidly changing sub-communities. There's still management, hierarchy, responsibility, it just works differently, but there's some more about that in our next video. So back to the action. When something happens or something needs to change, rather than using the traditional pipes to gather information and send instructions, we could focus instead on building a community around the change. Then let that community build its own communication pipes. Let it work out what to do. Let it determine its own path. With the right kind of leadership and nurturing, these communities are capable of growing and changing. They can adapt quickly and deal with new problems as they come up. No matter how the situation changes, communities are always going to be better at responding than top-down hierarchies. They have lots more pipes that can carry loads more communication that gets to where it needs to on shorter, faster paths without valves, reducers, tanks, pumps, drains, or whatever other metaphorical plumbing paraphernalia you can think of getting in the way. So what needs to change to make this happen? Shall I just tell them, shall I? Oh, all right then. Our way of managing needs to change. This community building business needs a different way of thinking. If you don't mind me stretching the analogy even further, there's something about being plumbers rather than pumps. And if there are any large bore, high pressure reciprocating action steam pumps watching, then I really didn't mean it. Sorry. In our second video, called The Plumbers Strike Back, we'll have a go at the hard bit, which is what you need to do to make things change. So, thank you for listening. I think I shall go and have a lie down now. Bye.